Hey Puppy Trades, I wanted to do a video analysis update of a couple of things that I'm seeing in the stock market. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Marathon Patent Group, and Boeing as potential setups that I'm seeing in the stock market right now. We're also going to talk about the charts of Apple and SPY and Netflix and talk about the ramifications that these stocks are going to have on the stock market. There's also a few educational things that I want to go over in this video. If we look at Bitcoin and Marathon Patent Group, we have a perfect textbook Elliott Wave 5 setup where we have an incomplete bullish sequence to the upside. We're going to talk about what that means, how to find our Wave 5 targets. We're also going to talk about the Andrews Pitchfork and how the Andrews Pitchfork can help us trade markets really reliably, really comfortably. So all the way back in November, we saw that if we took the length of this low, connected it with this high and this low, that we had a very, very beautiful reaction on this daily candle on the median of this pitchfork. So what's that mean? That means we took a major low, connected it with a major high and a major low, and we had a beautiful reaction where the daily candle makes a perfect reaction on the median. The median acts as the resistance, after it acts as a magnet, and then we go back to the lower bound. As soon as we get away from the lower bound, we go right back to the lower bound. So what's that called? That's called the validation of the Andrews Pitchfork, okay? What's that mean? That means we took a major low, we connected it with a major high and a major low. We saw really nice reactions on the median of the pitchfork, and then immediately we saw that the median of this pitchfork acted as a magnet. It also acted as resistance, where we can see that the high of this daily candle perfectly tags the median of the pitchfork. Then it goes away from the pitchfork, it gets away from the lower bound, and then as soon as it gets away from the lower bound, it goes right back to the lower bound. It consolidates sideways into a bull flag, which we'll go over, and now we have reactions on the lower bound. We know very confidently that SPY is going back to the median of this pitchfork, okay? So as we can see right now, SPY goes back to the median of this pitchfork. That's going to take it above 400. We had a really nice other way that we had a target that we know bulls can sleep safely at night. We had this bull flag target where we took the length of this move. We had a bull flag pennant with declining volume that was confirming bull flag consolidation. And we saw that the length of this move in time and price placed at the low was going to take SPY to 392. So that's another reason that we haven't really been questioning the bullish thesis. That's a big reason that I've been saying, there's absolutely no reason to, be fretting if you're a bull until we reach 392. And we are still, 10 points away from 392. So in my opinion, there's absolutely nothing, for stock market bulls to worry about until 392 is reached. And we also, more importantly, in my opinion, if you really want to know when the top is going to be, take this low connected with this high and this low. You're going to see really nice reactions on the median of this pitchfork. So we've seen already the median is proven to act as a magnet. It's proven to act as a resistance. I really love seeing the wick of a daily candle reach the median of a pitchfork. And then even better, as soon as we get away from the lower bound of the pitchfork, we go right back to the lower bound. We consolidate into a bull flag with declining volume confirming bullish consolidation. And now we have these really nice reactions on the lower bound of the pitchfork. We're going back to the median of the pitchfork, and we take the length of this move in time and price for the bull flag, place it at the low of the bull flag pennant. We know that SPY is incomplete to the upside until it reaches 391. Let's look at the weekly chart real quick. Basically the same idea, but I really like that we can recreate this pitchfork on the weekly chart, and it's almost more beautiful. We take this low on the weekly chart, we connect it with this high, we connect it with this low. We see again, gorgeous reaction where the wick of this candle reaches the median of the pitchfork. We get away from the lower bound, we go right back into the lower bound. Now we have reactions on the lower bound, and we're going right back to the median. So, if you really want to know, puppy trades, when's the top? Everyone just wants a number. I'll tell you what, the number is whatever the number is when this median is reached. That's the top. We take this, this low connected with this high and this low. We have such a nice reaction on the median, and then that wasn't enough. We go right back to the median, make a perfect reaction on the median of this pitchfork, and then as soon as we get away from the pitchfork, we go right back into it. Now we are reacting on the lower bound. The lower bound acted as a buying opportunity. And I think the next major top is going to be once we reach the median of this pitchfork, okay? Now we've gone through the Tesla chart. We're just going to remind you of what the Tesla chart looks like real quick because that's really important. And remember, it's not just Tesla. I had this exact same setup on Square Cash and PayPal, where they had these exact same bull flags. they are breaking out from their bull flags as well. We can look at those. But if we just look at Tesla right now, we see it makes the exact same March low as the rest of the stock market. And then it consolidates into a long bull flag. And I have all this documented that we knew this was a bull flag well in advance. But Tesla formed a really nice bull flag. And then we take the length of this move in time and price placed at the bull flag breakout from the March low. This is the exact same high the stock market made in September, the exact same low it made in September. And if we take the length of that move in time and price, we placed it at this low in September, we see Tesla has already reached the median of this pitchfork. It's now flagging. It looks like it's going to go on a wave higher up above 1,000. So what's that mean? Why are we talking about Tesla? Well, because we take the length of this move in time and price, and we place it at this exact same low that Tesla forms with the stock market, Tesla now a large holding of the S&P 500, Tesla's confirmed that at the very minimum, this was a wave 1, this was a wave 2, and this was a wave 3. What's that mean? Well, that means that when we look at the SPY pitchfork in a second, it's not really going to make any sense at all to call for a major crash on the S&P 500. Why is that the case? Well, because Tesla is in the S&P 500, Tesla's in the NASDAQ, Tesla moves with the S&P 500. It is acting as a leading indicator. So basically, bottom line, what we're pretty confident is going to happen is that SPY also formed a massive bull flag from the March low, connected with this high in September, and we have a really nice bull flag that we can see that SPY has broken out of. We believe that SPY is going to follow Tesla and is going to go the exact same relative distance, is going to go the length of the March low to the September high placed at the September low. So what's that most likely going to look like? Well, the long term, I believe the summer target for the S&P 500 is 459, 460. That's the length of this move in time and price placed at this low. What's that probably going to play out like, right? Puppy Trades is now saying 460. He's changing his price target. That's the summer price target. That's a long ways away. Okay, as we saw from last year, there's a lot of things that can happen between March and June. And I think if we look at the timing right now, here's what I think is going to happen. We have really nice reactions on the median of this pitchfork, a gorgeous reaction on the median where it acts as a magnet and resistance. Now we have a reaction on the lower bound. We're going back to the median. So what do I think this is actually going to play out like? I think it's going to look something like this. We go to the median of the pitchfork. Everyone who has never traded before, they're going to hear that the S&P 500 is above 4,000. Right? That's going to be a big deal. They're going to FOMO, right? Because they're still thinking that we're in Scary Berry territory because they're reading the news headlines. Okay, you don't read the news headlines if you're a technical trader. You just don't. Don't ever do that. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. But we're going to go to the median of this pitchfork. We're going to break out and back test this bull flag, in my opinion. So I do believe that there's going to be, people who don't respect the pitchfork, they're going to get hurt. I don't think the right thing to do right now is to call a top when this is hit, but you got to be really aware that when this low and this high and this low is connected, that you have a gorgeous median line that's already proven to act as a magnet, it's already proven to act as resistance, and then we have reactions on the lower bound acting as a buying opportunity. We're going back to the median of the pitchfork. Okay, so it's all set up right now from a psychological perspective. People who have never traded before, they're going to see the S&P 500 above 400. They're going to freak out. They're going to buy. Hopefully they don't do it on margin. And boom, we are going to have this reaction at the median. What's that going to look like from a classical trading perspective? That's going to be your textbook breakout and back test of a bull flag. From an Elliott wave perspective, that's going to be a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 1, and a wave 2. So that's going to be an Elliott wave nest. Bears are going to be, going absolutely crazy when they see that we, have this reaction on this median. We're going to backtest this bull flag, and they're all going to say, "Oh wow, this is this, bulls do it again." Right? But that's not what's going to happen. It's going to be a much more shallow correction than we had last March, in my opinion. We go 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to be forming an Elliott wave nest. How do we know that? Tesla has already gone the length of this move in time and price. It's actually gone past it, placed at the September low. So right now in the Elliott wave community, I believe that I am the first of many that is going to have already had this as a nest. Whereas what we're still seeing a lot of in the Elliott wave community is people are still thinking that this is going to be, the wave 3, and this is going to be the wave 4. And so then when get here, they're going to say this is Armageddon time. It's going to be very scary, very scary. But Tesla's already invalidated this projection. Tesla's already gone the length of this move in time and price, placed at this low. Square Cash and PayPal are very close to accomplishing that exact same feat. So I think I made that very clear. Connect to your pitchfork. We're going, very conservatively, we're going to reach 392 because that's our bull flag target. If you really want to know when the top is, take this low, connect it with this high and this low. That's going to take you to the median of the pitchfork. And then we're going to, from a medium term, 6 to 8 months out perspective, we're going to break out and back test this bull flag. Okay, I want to go over Apple real quick. We're going to talk a little bit about classical trading. This is very clearly, in my opinion, a cup and handle pattern. So what's a cup and handle? That is a classical trading pattern. Where's my cup? Here's my cup. Okay, so this is a large cup. Don't get too confused with the jargon. This is just a large classical trading base, right? This is the largest stock in the world, and if you're a classical trader, you see a very clear cup formed, and then Apple formed a handle once it broke above this high. This is a very clear cup and handle pattern, in my opinion, and that sets the stage from a very long-term perspective. What we've seen Tesla already has done, Apple is about to do too. So this is a cup and handle pattern. We have broken above this high. We've closed above this high. So this is a completed base breakout. The classical traders are going to be all over this, and it really doesn't make sense to be calling the top in the stock market when Apple has the largest weekly closing high in its history. Speaking of weekly, let's just look at the weekly chart real quick. If you really want to know where I think Apple's going, I don't think chasing it here is a good idea. I was talking about Apple a lot in the 114 range. But if we take this low connected with this high, and you're actually going to have to connect it with this low to get your really nice reaction on the median of this pitchfork, really nice reactions on the lower bound. I believe that Apple now is going back to the median of this pitchfork, and this is in a swing trade perspective, okay? So what does that really look like from a practical perspective? Well, Tesla, as we recall, has already gone the length of this move in time and price, placed at this low of September. So I think that's what is going to happen to Apple. So I think by the end of the summer, Apple is going to accomplish the exact same feat that Tesla has. You're going to take the length of this move in time and price. You're going to place it at this low. By the end of the summer, I think really conservatively, we're going to see Apple all the way at 187. So that's another thing to think about, when you're looking at these bear counts this weekend, that, Apple, in my opinion, clearly is going to be reaching 187 this summer. It's not going to go there in a straight line. I think what we're going to see is a very similar phenomenon with Apple that's currently going on in SPY, which is not a surprise because Apple is the largest holding of SPY, if I have checked that correctly. So let's just look at this Apple pitchfork real quick. I think the best pitchfork right now on Apple is on the daily chart. And this is the same pitchfork for QQQ. We take this low, we take this high, we take this low. Apple is going to go, we see it's going back to the lower bound of this pitchfork. Really nice reactions on the lower bound of this pitchfork. I believe that Apple is heading to the median of this pitchfork, and it's going to do something like this, exactly what we've talked about with SPY. It's going to go to the median of this pitchfork, and then it is going to break out and back test this large bull flag found by taking the length of this move in time and price, placing it at the September low. And what's that going to mean? Well, this right here is going to be a huge buying opportunity, in my opinion. This is the largest market cap stock in the world, right? I wouldn't chase Apple right here. And honestly, there's not really many stocks in the stock market I would chase. We're going to talk about Marathon Patent Group. We're going to talk about Boeing as a really nice wave 5 setups, in my opinion. But if we look at Apple right now, this is a very large bull flag, in my opinion. We are going to break out and back test this bull flag. We have really nice declining volume bars, confirming that this is all bullish consolidation. So I think Tesla's already made it clear we're going to see Apple in the 180s this summer. It's not going to go there in a straight line, though. I think the best projection that I can have right now for Apple is that it is going to go, the length is going to go to the median of this pitchfork. And if we have, we got a chart of Google and we got a chart of the NASDAQ right now, we can take this exact same low, connect it with this September high, and Apple, very conservatively, in my opinion, is, quote unquote, destined or incomplete to the upside until it reaches 152. Lo and behold, that looks like that's basically where the median of this pitchfork is going to be. So right now, I would say SPY most likely is going to go slightly above 400. Conservatively, we're definitely making it to 392. There's no question in my mind about that. But Apple is going to definitely reach 152. The reason I'm not giving time targets other than the 6 to 8 month time target is because I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying chase Apple here. I'm not, right? I talked about Apple a lot down here. This was the time to get in, right? But Apple is the largest stock in the world. It's a huge holding of SPY. So we know where Apple's going. We know where the market's going. Apple, in my opinion, is very incomplete until it reaches 152. SPY is very incomplete until it reaches 392. We've gone over the SPY pitchfork ad nauseum. But if we look at this pitchfork on Apple, I think this is kind of the roadmap that we are going to see. Apple is going to reach the median of this pitchfork. It's going to break out and back test this bull flag, and then that's going to be the exact same wave count that we've been talking about, where we go 1, 2, and then we while all the bears are just losing their mind about Apple dropping back to its previous all-time high, it's actually going to be completing what is the most bullish thing possible in LA wave theory and LA wave nest, where we go the length of the move from March to the September high, place at the September low, and that's our 1, 2. 1 is going to be complete at the median. 2, the bears are going to be lacking like hyenas, and then we're going to rocket to the length of this move in time and price, which is going to take Apple to 188, 187 this summer. Okay, so that's Apple. That's the S&P 500, and we know where those stocks are going. We know where the stock market is going. I want to do real quick Netflix, a similar idea. I wouldn't chase Netflix here either. Maybe if we got a reaction on the lower bound, but this is just another really good example that this stock consolidated sideways into a massive bull flag for over 6 or 7 months, built up a ton of energy, and then had a huge breakout above all-time highs. From an LA wave perspective, that confirms this was all consolidation, right? You don't call the top on Netflix here. It just consolidated for a massive amount of time, built up a ton of energy, and then of course, right after earnings, that showed that consolidation was going to resolve to the upside. So Netflix is the exact same thing. Another huge stock that is going to form a massive bull flag, in my opinion. It's already broken out of this bull flag. It's going to go the length of this move from the September low in time and price. From the March low in time and price, placed at the September low, forms a massive bull flag. We have a gorgeous pitchfork right now. We take this high connected with this low, connected with this high and this low. Really nice reactions on the median of the pitchfork. I think the Netflix is going to go all the way to the median of the pitchfork, and that's really interesting because where is that going to look in a a market pullback scenario? And I think right now it's really dangerous to assume that stocks like Amazon, Netflix, and Microsoft are going to have this massive pullback. And I'm not saying that they won't with the market, but what are Amazon, Netflix, and Microsoft? They're stay-at-home stocks, right? So what has been driving this rally higher? Oil stocks, bank stocks, airline stocks. That's what's really been driving the market higher from the March low. It wasn't until recently, the inauguration, that we started to see broader participation. And I believe that these stay-at-home stocks, what we're going to see is when SPY does have, this pullback, what it's really going to be is rotation back into the large cap, stay-at-home tech stocks, specifically Microsoft, specifically Netflix, specifically, Amazon. And those are going to resume the lead. But anyway, we take the length of the move in time and price. We place it at the low of this bull flag. We go wave 1, wave 2. We've broken out. We've confirmed that this is 6 months of consolidation. We have declining volume confirming bullish consolidation. And I believe Netflix is going to reach 744 this summer. Like I said, I wouldn't chase Netflix here either. I'm just trying to go over Netflix, SPY, and Apple. We have a lot of evidence that they are going to be at much higher prices this summer, and that's going to allow us as technical traders to view this sell-off that's coming much more differently than the rest of the market. Okay, so I believe Netflix this summer is going to definitely go to the median of this pitchfork. It's going to go the length of this move in time and price, place at this low. Netflix is honestly, in my opinion, incomplete until it reaches 744. I'm not saying anyone should chase Netflix. I'm not saying anyone should buy anything. Obviously, this is not investment advice. Just we need to know where Netflix, Apple, and SPY are going. If we want to know where the market's going, how do we know where they're going? Because Tesla has already shown us the path. Okay, so let's look at what I do think are actually good setups in the market. Marathon Patent Group, this is a really good opportunity for me to do a little education on Elliott wave theory. Okay, so in Elliott wave theory, wave 5, well, let's just go over a few basic wave principles. Okay, so let's just talk about some wave principles. First, wave 4 low cannot go below the high of wave 1. All right, that's a rule. That's a rule in Elliott wave theory. That's a law in Elliott wave theory. All right, what's another rule? Okay, wave 5 must be at least the length of wave 1. Okay, that's a law. That's a law in Elliott wave theory. Wave 5 has to be at least the length of wave 1. Okay, let's talk about a third law. Okay, the third law, or this is more of a principle. I wouldn't say this is as much of a law as the previous two. 2 of the 3 impulse waves must be at least the same length. So 2 of the 3 impulse waves must be at least the same length in price. Okay, so those are just some basic Elliott wave principles. Okay, I like to talk about Elliott wave principles because a lot of people, they will just spend their whole lives, oh, what was this turn? What was this turn? What was this turn? You don't want to do that. Get a life, get a girlfriend, use the Andrews pitchfork and just, set your beautiful points, use your bull flags. You don't just, worship wave theory. I like to use Elliott wave principles, okay? So let's talk about this from a wave count perspective. Talk about how we can use some of these principles to know that Marathon Patent Group is incomplete to the upside, okay? Well, first, this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, and then this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2. Okay, so this is in Elliott wave theory, we call this a nest. A nest is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we take our wave 3, and we have an A, B, C correction. Wave C has reached the length of wave A, and we believe right now that if 15.72 holds as the low, then wave 4 is complete. So we'll say right now 15.72 is the invalidation level for this setup. And I do believe this is a setup. If we get a dip Monday morning, I'm trying to buy a Marathon Patent Group as close to 15.72 as possible with a stop loss below 15.72. Why am I doing that? Well, because in Elliott wave theory, the wave 4 low can't go much lower. It can't go lower at all than the high of wave 1, right? So the high of wave 1 is 14.66. For this setup to be completely invalidated, then Marathon Patent Group would have to break below 14.66. If it did that, this would invalidate this wave 4 completed projection that I am giving right now. But I don't believe that's going to happen. Wave A and wave C are the same length. And what we're doing now is wave 4 has retested this high of wave 1. From an Elliott wave perspective, it can't break below the high of wave 1. A wave 4 cannot break below the high of wave 1. I'll say that again. Okay, so I do believe that this is a wave 4 completion. So now what we have to do is we have to talk about wave 5. We're going to talk about Bitcoin first, okay? We're going to talk about Bitcoin in a second. Talk about Bitcoin's wave 5. But right now, how can we use Elliott wave principles to get a really solid risk-reward ratio, really nice setup on Marathon Patent Group? Let's look, okay? So wave 5 must be at least the length of wave 1. That's a law. That's a rule, okay? You go to jail in Elliott wave theory if you ever say that a wave 5 was shorter than wave 1. Okay, so we take the length of wave 1, and we place it at this wave 4 low. Very, very, very conservatively, Marathon Patent Group will reach 28.43. Now, the length of wave 1 goes from 1110 to 1228. From 1110 to 1228, that is less than 6 weeks. So I believe in the next 6 weeks, by the end of February, I think very conservatively, mid-March. But realistically, I think by the end of February, Marathon Patent Group, if 15.72 holds as the low, this stock is going to go at the very minimum to 28.43. So if you never heard of Mara, M-A-R-A, this is a stock that mines Bitcoin. Okay, I don't do fundamental analysis on most of my setups. Long-term investing, that's a little different. But for a setup like this, I don't do fundamental analysis. But we can just say right now, Marathon Patent Group is a Bitcoin mining stock. This stock generally will move step for step with Bitcoin. I'm not really here to argue with anyone about that. But we go 1, 2, we have our wave 3, we have our ABC correction, putting in a wave 4 right near the high of wave 1. Okay, so I believe this is a really, really good risk-reward ratio setup because 14.66 cannot be broken, or this will be in an invalid wave count. Okay, so I believe right now that I'm trying to buy Marathon Patent Group on any dip that we get on Monday as close to 15.72 as possible with a stop loss below 15.72. And I believe that the length of wave 1 in time and price placed at this wave 4 low is our very minimum target for wave 5. So I do believe that in the next 6 weeks, Marathon Patent Group will reach 28.43. I believe 28.43 will be hit by the end of February, conservatively by mid-March. Conservatively by mid-March. And I'll talk about why that is a conservative projection when we look at Bitcoin right now. Let me just make this chart naked a little bit, and we can talk about how we know this is a wave 3. Well, wave 3 in Elliott wave theory has to be bigger than wave 1. So if we say that this is our wave 1, and then we can see clearly that wave 3 is bigger than wave 1. All right, so there shouldn't be any debate in this wave count that this is a wave 1, and then this is a wave 2. This is clearly a wave 3. It is much further, much stronger than wave 1. So this is our wave 3. And then we have an ABC correction to put in our wave 4. Wave C passes the length of wave A, and then it reverses. So that's our ABC correction to put in our wave 4. And then wave 5, at the very minimum, is at least the length of wave 1. So we take the length of wave 1 in time and price, we place it at this wave 4 low, voila. If 15.72 holds as the low, at the very minimum, Marathon Patent Group will reach 28.43 by the end of February. Conservatively, it's going to reach that level by mid-March. Okay, we're going to talk about why that is conservative right now when we look at the Bitcoin chart. Okay, so we remember in Bitcoin, this count is not as clear if we don't look at Marathon Patent Group. So what I'm doing right now, and I think this is important to understand, I'm trading Marathon Patent Group and Bitcoin together. I'm looking at these charts together, and I am saying that I am making the logical conclusion, in my opinion, that if Marathon Patent Group has completed a wave 4 low, Bitcoin has completed a wave 4 low as well. Okay, that's based on these stocks that are in the same sector and always move together. That these stocks are going to continue to move together. But, as we see, if this is the wave 4 low and this is the wave 1 high, Bitcoin isn't as close to the high of wave 1. Okay, so we're going to talk about the wave count right now. Let's just say right now that if we took the length of this wave 1 and we placed it at this wave 2 low, then Bitcoin clearly is in a wave 3. Okay, Bitcoin clearly is in a wave 3. This is way bigger than wave 1. I should say Bitcoin clearly has completed a wave 3. So this high right here in early January is clearly a wave 3 because it's so much bigger than our wave 1. Okay. Now, what do I think this count looks like? I think this is the wave 1. This is a wave 2. This is our wave 3, and just like Marathon Patent Group, we go A, B, C correction from the high of wave 3, and then at the very minimum, Bitcoin is going to go the length of wave 1 in time and price placed at this low. All right, well, if you're an Elliott wave theorist, what's wrong with this? Wave 5 isn't higher than the wave 3 high. All right, if you turn this into me, I give you an F. Wave 5 can't end right here. Okay, so let's recall some of our Elliott wave principles real quick. Wave 4, the wave 4 low can't go below the high of wave 1. All right, that's clearly not going to be an issue here. Wave 3 is much bigger than wave 1, so that checks out. Wave 5 has to be at least the length of wave 1. So that's, not going to be an issue. But remember, what's that other principle? Two of the 3 impulse waves will be the same length. Okay, so if 2 of the 3 impulse waves, and let's just go over real quick, in Elliott wave theory, waves 1, waves 3, and waves 5 are always the impulse waves. Waves 2 and 4 are the corrective waves. So waves 2 and 4 have the A, B, C corrections. Waves 1, 3, and 5 are subdivided into 5 waves. I'm not going to get into the really detailed stuff. We're just going to say 2 of the 3 impulse waves are going to be the same length. We talked about marathon pattern group, why at the very minimum that's going to take marathon pattern group to 28.43. But we look at Bitcoin right now, 2 of the 3 impulse waves will be the same length. They're going to be the same length, right? And so it clearly won't be the length of wave 1, right? Because if wave 5 was just the length of wave 1 placed at this wave 4 low, that wouldn't work, right? That's not going to work because wave 5 has to go above the high of wave 3. So you can't turn this into your Elliott wave teacher or you're going to get an F, right? You're going to go back to bull flag school. You don't want to do that. Okay, we go wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 is way bigger than wave 1. So that checks out. We have an A, B, C correction. And let's just say right now, this will be invalidated if 28,860 is broken. So we need to make sure 28,860 is broken. More important, in my opinion, we need to make sure Mara does not go below 15.72. We look at Bitcoin right now. We go wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, A, B, C correction, wave 4. If wave 5 is the length of wave 1, you just failed wave school, right? That's not good because wave 5 has to go above the high of wave 3. So what's really going to happen? This is what's actually going to happen in my opinion. What's really going to happen is 2 of the 3 waves have to be the same length. 2 of the 3 impulse waves have to be the same length. Okay, so if wave 5 isn't going to be the exact same length as wave 1, then it's going to be the same length as wave 3 in price. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think if 28,860 holds as the low, 28,860 holds as the low, then what Bitcoin is really going to do, it's going to go the length of wave 3 in time and price, placed at the wave 4 low. So we go wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, A, B, C correction will give us our wave 4. And then wave 5 is going to be the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. So remember, this will be invalidated if 28,860 is broken. More importantly, if Mara breaks below 15.72, this will be invalidated. But I do believe that Bitcoin has also completed an ABC correction, and it is going to go to the length of wave 3, because remember, 2 of the 3 impulse waves will be the same length placed at this wave 4 low. I think Bitcoin is going to go to 54,390. Now, from a time target perspective, wave 5 isn't as powerful as wave 3. So you can't just take the length of this move in time and price. We'll use it as a template right now, though. This is 11/26. This is early January. So I believe, January 8th, I believe 2 months from now, by mid-March, by the end of March, but definitely by mid-March, in my opinion, Bitcoin is going to go the length of wave 3 in time and price, placed at this ABC corrective low. So if 28,860 holds as the low, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go all the way to 54,390. I expect that will very conservatively happen by the end of March.